ball, he too little. Now you put Lonzo on there with all them athletes and running and gunning, guess what?
Your son is that much bigger than Steph Curry?
He's bigger than Steph Curry. Steph Curry, what, 6'2"?
Steph Curry about 6'3".
Okay,
long
I'll
arms.
let him be 6'4". He's still shorter than my boy. Long arms? Can he jump? Can he run? Not like my boy. Let me tell you something.
Oh
if you
my
take
God.
Steph Curry...
something is wrong with you,
yes,
sir.
I'll tell you what's wrong with you. I keep talking to you. Max, next.
I don't know. Was LaVar wrong? Was he wrong? I don't know. What's up, real MVPs? What's up, Bulls fans? And welcome into another Ricky's Bulls reaction. One thing I will say, we will see how far we get this season, because usually how it lasts is, hey, I've got shit to do. I lose track of this, and it's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to the people who come in to watch these videos each and every time I do them. So first off, an apology for that. Second off, an apology for no video game one, Ricky. What are you talking about? Maybe it's not even going to start this year. Ricky didn't even get through a game. Well, I did. My editing computer just almost died. So we had divisional previews for the NBA to do. Dave and Jake did a great job. Check those on our channel down below. And editing those videos, or exporting them, I should say, almost killed my editing computer. Almost killed it, to where I was like, what is taking this so long? And I think there was smoke coming out of it. I had to call the repair crew come over here. No, I didn't call anyone. I just turned it off, let it sit for an entire night. And now, knocking on wood, I didn't knock on wood. That's glass. Knocking on wood, everything will be okay. But we have a game to talk about here. Game 2, win 2 for the Bulls. Get to say that after every Bulls win. Bulls win 128-112 over the New Orleans Pelicans. Got a lot to dive into here, and usually you say, Ricky, it's a blowout. You usually don't have much to say after a blowout. Well, this Bulls team, it's still in infancy, and I will say, I want to start off with, Bulls fans, it is amazing. It is great to finally have a team that is fun to watch. Like, and not just like, cause I'm not, cause like, I was thinking about how do I talk about this? Because it's not like, there were good moments before this expectation-filled Bulls team. Like, there were good moments to watch, but like, it feels good to finally watch a Bulls team and finally have expectations. Now, I will say, coming from Bulls fandom here, are some of our expectations too high? Yes, but we are fans. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to say things like, Bulls are going to win the East. We're supposed to say, oh, the Bulls are going to be the 3rd seed in the East, because we are fans. We are finally excited about our team. Not just excited, but having expectations. This is new to us. We haven't had expectations since Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah were on this team. I think the last season we actually had expectations was before we got Zach LaVine. Was Jimmy Butler, D. Wade, Rondo. We had expectations that year. And then, let's not get into that. But Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, Luol Deng, those were the last times we could actually smile being a Bulls fan. It feels great. Now, there are some things with this team I like. There are some things that I do not like. I'm just going to touch on it now. I'll touch on it more later. The defense. This team, you can see night and day, the defense is better. You can see that the moves that AK and ME made during the offseason paying dividends already in game number 2. Like, what? A front office that actually did their job and went out and got free agents? What is this? I'm not used to this still. Like, it's all just a fever dream still. But that being said, the guys coming in, they were playing well. DeMar DeRozan, I'll get into him later. I was worried about him after game 1. But the big thing for this Bulls team is I just love the energy that they bring, whether it's a Lonzo to Caruso back to Lonzo for a play, whether it's the passing around the horn. Like, I feel like this offense, it no longer has to run through Zach. Before it was Zach brings it up, it runs through Zach, that's where it goes. Zach. Now it's kind of like It doesn't have to. There were many times where it was like Zach would go to the corner and just stand there, and I'd be like, what is this, Zach? What are you doing? And then I'd be like, oh, wait. Zach doesn't have to initiate the offense anymore. We have guys that can finally do that so that we can go other ways and do different things. And the thing with Zach, I will say, is the Bulls are still trying to find themselves. Did they find themselves a little bit earlier in this one than they did against the Pistons? Yeah, but also you had the energy of playing at home compared to playing in Detroit. So, I mean, the thing with Zach that I kind of want to see is I want to see how he finds himself, because he no longer has to be the guy as Crowley from, I think it was the Sun-Times, was like, oh, Zach's a ball hog. First off, you get off our man. You get off Zach LaVine. The Zach LaVine army will be on you quicker than butter on toast, if that even makes sense. But I mean, Zach, like in the first quarter, didn't have any points. That's not Zach. That's not Zach. But then in the second, boom, explodes, says, I need some points. And just boom, 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 boom. There we go. Later, finished with 30. Also an accomplishment that only 3 other Bulls have done. I forget the first one, pre-90s, pardon me. Michael Jordan was the second. Zach has now done it twice. The only 3 Bulls to score 30-plus games, or 30-point games, in their first 2 games to start a season. So, I mean, Michael did it pre-championships. LaVine's already done it twice. But, I mean, that's really the thing, is where does this team fit? Because LaVine didn't have to score early on, did later on. DeMar DeRozan, I'll touch on him because I got a fan question about it, but he didn't have a great first game, had a better second game. Lonzo Ball, triple-double. Here's a fact that, the fact that they showed on the screen that made me cry. It made me weep because of how sad this was. Lonzo's triple-double is the first triple-double the Bulls have had since Rajon Rondo in 2016. NBC Chicago, I did not need to know that. I did not need to know how sad my franchise has been. That we had, Soapy and I are sitting there and we're like, somebody's had to have done this. Somebody's had to have had a triple. Like, you're telling me no one has had a triple-double. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, Zach's a passer, but Zach's not getting 10 rebounds and 10 assists while going off for his 30 and 40 and 50 points that he usually had to do. So, like, it makes sense. And the stats that they put on for Rondo's triple-double were like 12, 10, and 10. So it was like, he wasn't really playing a big part. Well, I shouldn't say. He did play a big part. I love you, Rajon. Without you, without you, we didn't beat the Celtics in that one playoff series. And I say, if he doesn't get injured that year where we had Jimmy, D, Wade, Rondo, we beat the Celtics in that playoff series. But I digress. Lonzo Ball doing something that a Bull has not done in 5 years. Almost 5 years since a Bull has done that, to where I love watching this team. I do. I know it's only game 2, but I love watching this team. One area of concern that I will say, this team needs to learn how to start games and halves better. Like, I know it's only game 2. I'm not going to harp on it. We're still feeling out the Bulls at this point. We're still on cloud 9 because the Bulls are undefeated and are going to win the NFC. I'm in football now. The NBA East. I almost said NFC East. NBA East. They're just going to win the East. They're 2-0, undefeated, 82 win season. That's how it's going to do. The Bulls are the best, and no one can convince me otherwise. But, I mean, this is a team that started off the first quarter where it was like, okay, beginning of the game, the Pelicans and Bulls kind of feeling each other out. But the big concern to me was the second half, where we built, let's see, going in, I'm going to look at my box score, pardon me for looking down, but at the end of the second quarter, so going into half, it was a 65-47 lead. We had nearly a 20-point lead, 18 to be exact. Then we came out in the third quarter, and it's kind of like all that momentum, and I know that there's some coaches out there that'll say, well, momentum's not a thing. Like, fans think about it, we don't. But, like, the Bulls, we had all this momentum going into where it's like, okay, we're feeling good, we're feeling high. And then we let the Pelicans come out and kind of jab us in the mouth. Not punch us, because they didn't take a lead or anything, but they kind of jabbed us in the mouth a little bit. where they hit us. They brought it down to like an 11, 10-point game to where I remember Jake was we're all sitting here watching basketball, and he's just like, hey, that Bulls game down to like 13 points? I was like, oh no, it's down to 11. Yeah, down to 11 points. So a little concerned. Like, that's the one thing I want to see, and yet the coach job being put on these boys of like starting games and starting halves with the same intensity, a high intensity, because I've had this concern with the Bulls for the last few years, especially with the Jim Boylan era Bulls, to where it's just like, I felt like we started halves kind of haphazardly or lacking of energy and had to pick that up. We got to gas pedal right away. We got to come out there. If we got a 20-point lead, we got to stay. We can't kind of back off and let the team come back before we kind of pick things up. But that's kind of my thoughts. There are more I want to talk about, but I do have some questions that I want to get to. Number one is from Twitter. It's from Pat Hill. He says, how about the Bulls defense, baby? And it's great to have a defensive team. Like, this is a team, game 1, game 2, I cannot stop talking about the defense. Alex Caruso getting MVP, getting MVP chants from the UC crowd. You love it. This is a team that, like, oh man, we can play some defense. We can, like, I know too that, I mean, Jake has brought this up. Non-Bulls fan trying to bring us down. Oh, you played the Pistons, you played the Pelicans. Let's see after the first 4 games how you are. Now, I mean, is it true that if we go up against the Bucks, it's a different game? Yeah, but every opponent's a different game. I'm just happy right now that the Bulls are winning, that it's exciting to see. No one's going to take me off of cloud 9, baby. This Bulls team's going to go all the way. Now, we got to bring those expectations down a bit. You get a little hyped up, you keep going. But yeah, the defense has been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. We've got Alex Caruso out there. We've got Lonzo Ball out there. This team is playing defense. Also, before I get into the next question, I forgot to say, Javonte Green in this game. I love this man. Love Javonte Green. My favorite play from him all game was he had a wide open 3. I'm going to pass up the 3 to try to go dunk on somebody. Did the dunk happen? No, but he got fouled. And, like, to me, there's a part of me that just goes, I have to applaud that kind of tenacity of, like, you know what? I could shoot this 3 over you. Nuh-uh, not today. Not today. I want to go dunk on some people. I want to make some posters. So, I mean, yeah, this Bulls team, you can tell, it's going to be a hype season all the way through. Couple of other questions. These ones coming from the Discord. If you want to join the MVP Discord, down below in that description, you can ask questions. If you don't on Twitter, don't have a Twitter, join the Discord. You can ask questions and talk to everyone from the MVP family. Clown Baby in our Discord, Tim, he says, how do you feel about DeMar DeRozan? And there's a part of me, Tim, that I know you're trolling with me because during game 1, I was saying a little bit of, man, DeMar DeRozan's trash. We shouldn't have gotten him. I'm kidding, by the way, my sarcasm, but he wasn't playing good game 1. Game 2, he came out. He played a lot better. Like, this team, I am during games, of course, going to speak my, like, you watch these games and you start having these, like, just instant fan thoughts. And then you think about things after the game is over. You have a coherent thought and then boom, that's how you think about basketball. But, yeah, DeMar DeRozan will be fine. This team still needs to gel. It's only game 2. We're only at game 2. We are not at the finish line yet. Second off, this is kind of a 2-part question with me. You know what? I'm going to go into this one. So Sam from our Discord asks, you concerned with Patrick Williams' lack of offensive output so far? And the reason why this is going to lead into our next one, I'm actually just going to throw it up where Rogue One from our Discord says, carryover from game 1, how concerned are you by Vucevic's defense or lack thereof? Here's my thought process with how both of those kind of fit together. Number one, with Patrick Williams' offensive output, He doesn't need to, like, Patrick Williams does not need to have a above or an above average offensive output. Like, how this team works, the ball should run through Zach, DeMar, Lonzo, and Vuce before Patrick Williams. Even off the bench, like when Kobe White comes back, of course, we're going to get some major scoring off the bench. He's going to add kind of a boost, but like the offense should never run through Patrick Williams. That's not why we drafted him. So like for me, I'm not concerned with the offensive output from Patrick Williams. The thing that I wouldn't say concerned with, because like with the Vucevic thing, are you concerned about his defense? No, because he's not Vucevic is not the defensive stopper down there. It's not like we have Dikembe Mutombo wagging the finger, no, you don't come into the paint kind of a thing. It's not even like we have Clint Capella down there. I'm just trying to think of guys. We don't have Rudy Go Fraud out there. Trying to think of guys who block shots and play good defense. But Vucevic is not that guy. Vucevic, the reason we got him was offensively, what he can bring to this team. Playing with Zach, at the time playing with Lowry, now playing with Patty Will, the paw. And I mean, the thing that I wouldn't say concerned about, but I want to see is Patrick Williams' defense and Vucevic's offense. That's how it should be. Williams is the defensive guy. Vucevic is the offensive guy in the front court. And it should be Patrick Williams. And yet again, here's the thing. We got to remember this. Patrick Williams is only in his second year. This guy was a rookie last year. So, like, it's not like you've had a year in the NBA. Here, you're already great. We got to not put too much expectations on Patrick Williams. He is still a developing young player on this team. But, yeah, it should be Patrick Williams is more the defensive side. Vucevic looking more at his offense. And, like, I know Sam in the Discord also said his offensive output too. Here's the thing with Vucevic. He should no longer be the second leading scorer on this team because we have DeMar DeRozan. We have Lonzo Ball. Like, in an ideal world, Zach is still our leading scorer. It's either, I don't even want to say, like, DeMar would probably be our second leading scorer, and then either Vucevic or Ball, depending on what kind of a game it is. If it's someone like we're playing the Pistons game 3, then okay, maybe Vucevic will have more of an offensive role because the bigs right now for the Pistons are kind of smaller bigs. And I know that Soapy had a question about that in game 1 that I didn't get to, where did you see some lag? Like, I feel like everyone's got Vucevic. Should we be concerned about him? No. As long as he's grabbing boards, as long as he's putting up points, and he's not playing absolutely like terrible, not playing like dog water, it's fine because he is no longer the number 2 guy on this team. It's Zach, it's DeMar and Lonzo, and then it's Vucevic in my mind. And then when Kobe White comes back, he should be even in that mix, not starting wise, but off the bench. So like, that's why to me, that's where I'm kind of sitting. Last thing, and I know this video is kind of long. It's going to be. You know me. I like to ramble about the Bulls. Here's one last thing I want to say. And this came after the game 1. I was talking to Soapy. We were talking about Vucevic. And it kind of came up with like, oh, well, he's not the center of the future. And Bulls fans, I'm not saying we are doing this, but I am putting out a decree to all of Bulls Nation. And of course, this is something that Jake and Soapy are going to sit there, and they're going to do this, and they're going to say, ooh, Ricky's going to say something that we can hold them to a month or 2 down the line when he forgets that he says this, and then he did it himself. I say this entire season, we don't think about the future. We do not think about the future. And when I say that, not the good things to come, not the NBA titles that we will be winning, not the MVPs that Zach LaVine will be winning. What I mean by that is, let's not ruin this season by already game 2 talking about, okay, this guy's not the future. We got to eventually get him out and put this in. Of course, you're going to have conversations. I even had a conversation with our Discord about this. And after that, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, should we even be doing this? No, we shouldn't. We should be enjoying this season. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to try to do on these videos is enjoy the season. To take what the Sixer fans have gone through in the process. Trust the process. We are right now in the Bulls AK process. We need to TTP ourselves. We need to do what Philly did and trust the process. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I am going to trust the process the best that I can. But that is going to do it for Game 2, Ricky's Bulls reaction. I apologize for them being kind of long. They will be like this early on. I get rambly at the beginning. As the season goes on, they will be more concise. Remember to sub to the channel if you're not already subbed already to get into contact with everything we're doing here at MVP, especially our Bulls content. If you're a Bulls fan, also join that Discord if you would like to converse with the NBA family, or not the NBA family, the MVP family. It's been a while since I've done a video. I apologize. This is kind of rusty on my part, but join the Discord, sub to the channel. If you want to support us, check out our Patreon page down below or become a channel member today. I want to thank you guys for everything you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.